Hey, what's going on YouTube? Here I am doing another video, and this video is exactly what you need to do to fit 35-inch tires on your third gen Tacoma. There's a lot of videos out there. When I was looking to do it, was kind of really mixed opinions and stuff like this. I'll tell you exactly what I did to work. This is technically a 34.9 or 8, so it's a Toyo RT. It's technically a 35. That's what they are. Most tire brands aren't specifically 35, they're a little bit less. So this is exactly what I did. I'll show you exactly how to do it and some mistakes I made and how I fixed them. So let's get into it. We'll get this tire off and show you exactly what we did. All right, now that we have the wheel off, I'll go ahead and kind of tell you everything we did behind the wheel. So the first thing we did is we did spindles and cam tabs. Spindles is really nice not to break your spindle because you're adding the extra weight. So you don't want to break it, you don't want to be stranded. Cam tabs, they're both from Total Chaos, aren't necessary for 35s, but if you already have someone down here welding stuff, you might as well get the cam tab kit and also have them weld it. That helps with alignment and a couple other things. And while I did that, I did the spacer for the CV so you don't really blow CV. And then the other thing we did is we did a fender trim on the truck, took out the fender and all that. That was really helpful, helped with rubbing a lot. 100% recommend doing that. It really just helps a lot. And then we also have the trim, our front rear bumper to account for the trimming. This is a C4 hybrid bumper. I was actually rubbing on the bumper, kind of weird. So we had to trim that and put a cup, super glue it, call it good. And then another thing you also need is you need the appropriate lift. If you only have a 1-inch lift, you're probably not going to get 35. So I have the 3-inch lift from King. I have 700-pound springs to accommodate for all the weight, so I'm not drooping into the 35s. Now, one other thing that I always hear people say is get a body mount chop. That doesn't work, at least for me, did not work whatsoever. I would be driving straight and I would rub, doesn't work. So I have the DRT body mount relocation kit, highly recommend it. That's like the best way to make sure you don't rub. Obviously you're still gonna rub in some spots, I still rub, that's just how it is. So we did do as much trimming and beating and cutting as we possibly could. 35s is a lot of work. Just saying, it's going to be a lot of work. So we did a whole bunch of cutting. I still rub. It's kind of almost impossible unless you really, really modify stuff. And sometimes it kind of destroys the use case in it. Another thing to add is do not do this unless you re-gear. You can blow up your rear end. You can just destroy your diffs. So I re-gear to nitro gears, 48s. I heard the 529s make a lot of noise and not really good on the highway. So I went 48s, totally fine. Another thing that I haven't done, but you can do to help with, gas mileage and whatnot, is get a tune. Haven't done that yet. I'll be doing that in the future. Everyone I've talked to says it helps out a lot with the 35s because it does affect your gas mileage quite a bit. So let's do a quick recap on everything that I did. The appropriate lift, I did spindles and cam tabs and a CV drop. I did a bunch of trimming, including trimming the bumper and a body mount relocation, and I did a re-gear. That's basically what you need to do. The main thing I would highly recommend, there's two, a re-gear and a body mount relocation. I would advise to anyone, it is not worth it to go to 35s unless you do those two things. It's just kind of a pain, and when you're off-roading and you hear rubbing really bad when you're with your friends or random people, doesn't really sound the best. Sounds like you didn't put in the work to actually fit the tire that is going on your vehicle. Now for the rear of the vehicle, basically all we did was have the appropriate leaf springs. We did stage 3 devers to accommodate for all the weight. If you want to see what we have in the back, you can go to our build walkthrough video. And then just appropriate fender trimming. So that's basically all we did for the rears. Are super simple. One thing we're going to add to the rears is bump stops. And the one thing I forgot to mention in the front, we added sumo spring bump stops. So when you compress, it kind of helps so you don't just tear everything apart and kind of gives you a little bit of room. And then worst case, what I did is the wheels I have are -13, I believe, offset. I added a 1/4-inch wheel spacer. It kind of just helps bring the tire out a little bit so you're not rubbing so bad. So basically just trim as much as you can and figure it out. Every vehicle is different, every tire is different, and every wheel is different. The tires I have are technically a 34.8 or 9, the Toyo RTs, but they're basically a 35. There's no such thing as really an actual 35, except some brands do that. And you get some brands that are 35 and they're a 33-inch tire. So you kind of want to see with that. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope this helped. This is exactly what I did and it works perfectly fine. Yes, you're still going to rub unless you really, really just beat the hell out of this. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.